I tell you what, folks, it's been a blast going down memory lane here and talking about some of these stories. So we're going to keep the train rolling here with this episode. We're going to talk about the rock band I was in, The Big City. It was originally put together just for the high school talent show that was at the end of the year, our senior year. We decided to learn 2 songs. I sang one, Tim sang the other. The guys in the band was me on vocals and bass, Tim Anthony on vocals and guitar, Ben Neese on guitar, and Dave Petty on drums. So we decided to start this little project for this talent show and learn 2 songs, and we needed a place to practice. So Tim's parents was kind enough to let us use their house and practice in Tim's bedroom. I'm still to this day not for sure how we fit a drum set, 2 guitars, 2 guitar amps, and a bass amp in that room, but it was a blast doing that. And the way we came up with the name The Big City, I believe there was a picture hanging in Tim's room where we were practicing, and it said, he had a whole bunch of things hanging on the wall, like it was really cool, like some signs, different things. And I remember one said, like, I think it was a baseball bat, and it said like The Big Hit or something like that. Then there was another sign that said city, and so we thought The Big City, so we put it together like that. So we practiced 2 songs, and I sang one of them. It was Until the Day I Die by a band that was really popular at the time called Story of the Year. And I'm trying to think of the other song that we did, which Tim sang. It was a really good jam, and I cannot think of it for the life of me right now. But yeah, so Tim sang the other songs. We did 2 songs at the talent show. I don't know if we won. I don't think we won it or not. I don't even know if they even picked a winner, to be honest with you. I think that it was just like a showcase, a talent showcase is more like what it was, not a talent show, like contest, just a showcase. And so after that, we decided, we really enjoyed playing together and decided to start writing our own songs together and create a little band out of this. So I think about that time was when we were still practicing in Tim's room, but then we would shortly transition to Ben's parents' garage in Root House, Illinois, which was a lot more spacious, and we practiced a whole lot out there. And we began writing songs. At this time, I would write the lyrics, actually, prior to us having the music to the song. And I would go there, and the guys would create, the music for it, and then I would put the lyrics over it, and then we just roll with it like that. As you can tell in some of the music, because looking at it back now, some of it was all right, but some of the parts I'm like, this doesn't even fit with what the guys were creating. But it was kind of cool with what we were doing. I really enjoyed that process. It was so different at the time. I remember one of the songs, Isaiah, I wrote the lyrics to it up in Wisconsin Dells on our senior trip out on the balcony one night. But anyways, we kept practicing there in Ben's garage, and then we went on, I think our first performance after the high school talent show was at the Greene County Fair talent show, and this one they did judge. And Greene County is where we all live in Illinois, or lived. And I believe we placed second place. The first place was a girl that sang song to a karaoke instrumental, I believe. And after that, we went on to put on some local shows at the local Seton Hall. One of them being one of the most successful ones. We put on a show for, I believe, to raise money for the junior high, those low-end funds and their sports funds for the volleyball team. So we did a little benefit for that, as well as put on other shows there. And we also went on to play a few shows at a venue called the Black Sheep Cafe, which is one of the top venues. It was the top venue for indie rock bands in Springfield, Illinois, and they still to this day have touring acts from all over the place coming in there. It's a very nice thing that they have going on there. And I remember one show that we played there. Something was going on in the Black Sheep Cafe. They were remodeling or something the day of our show. Didn't have it done or something of that nature. So out the back door to the right or to the left was a skating park, like where you go roll out on a skateboard or skates, whatever, or not skates, rollerblades, and half pipes and different things like that. And so they set us up on the top of this half pipe, and the people stood down, on the half pipe on the ground, and we were up on the top. So it was to this day probably the tallest stage I ever played on. It was pretty sweet. And I remember after that we were trying to decide what we were going to do. Me, Ben, and Dave were all graduated high school. I believe Tim was a year behind us, and he was going to be a senior that year. And I wanted to keep the band going. I think we all kind of did, but we were just kind of going in different directions and stuff. Ben was going to be moving off to college. And so we went on to, I believe we played our last show in Champaign, Illinois. And it was in the basement of a church near the campus of the University of Illinois. And at this point, like, a big inspiration to me was this band, the Junior Varsity, as I talked to you about in the last episode whenever I was going over the original beginnings of Midwest Avenue with my cousin, my dad, and my uncle. I was still going to see the Junior Varsity all the time at this point. Like, the icing on the cake would have been to open up a show for those guys. That would have been awesome. But it didn't happen. I still loved watching them and listening to their music. And so they were a big driving force at my inspiration in doing this. I mean, I pretty much just wanted to be the Junior Varsity. That's all I wanted to do because they were talented musicians and wrote these awesome songs and put on a heck of a live show. And with the band winding down at this point, it was when I started trying to figure out what my next move was going to be musically. So I started talking to my cousin, and I decided to leave. I'd started to write some original music for myself as a solo artist, or it could have been for a band. I didn't really know what direction I was going, but I was talking to my cousin. He had, like I said, at the end of the Midwest Avenue episode, he moved away for a job. It's about 3 hours away. That's why the Midwest Avenue thing kind of fizzled out. And so here we are again, same kind of story here with the big city. Some of the guys leaving for college and just not being able to move forward with the project the way that we would have liked to. So I was talking to my cousin, and he had lived in a duplex at the time with his buddy Wes, and I moved up there with them to a town called Ottawa, Illinois, about 3 hours from my hometown. And there in Ottawa, Illinois, I got a job at a PetSmart eventually, I think. I remember the first night I moved to Ottawa. I got there, and it was kind of late at night. My cousin and his friend Wes was gone to work. They worked midnight shift at the time. And I decided to find the closest McDonald's and go get me a McChicken or something like that. Hell, I don't remember what it was. So I drove down the main road, found a McDonald's, and went into the McDonald's. And then coming out of the McDonald's parking lot, there was a median, and where it was one of the ones like with the big curb in the middle of the road, like you can't drive across. And so I needed to get across the road to go left, but I didn't even see the median. It was so dark, and I was watching the traffic. So I just put on the gas, and boom, 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 boom. I hit that dang median, and my car, it shook back and forth, like just constantly rocked. It was, I busted the belts in both of my tires, and oh my goodness. Yeah, so I began writing and recording some songs. And that was about the time that I started a MySpace page, and that was the big thing at the time. That was before Facebook and everything. And me and my cousin and Wes decided to start a band there. So we kept the music thing rolling, and me and my cousin reunited with Wes. And then we were on the lookout for a drummer. And I'll tell you how we came to find a drummer and how we started a band called Thornberry Court, originally called the Shuby House, because that's what we called the duplex we lived in, was the Shuby House. So next up on the story here, we're going to be talking about the band Thornberry Court, where I played bass in.
Saving These summer nights are dying, and I can't sleep. This late night air burns me. You promised you'd come back. Come back soon. Staring at this picture that we brought to life, all the time we spent. Did I ever think it would end? How could I let it come to this? I'm missing you. Did I think you'd come back? I'll pray on that. All the places we have been, I'll miss them all. I hope from now on you'll be happy. Do it for me now. It's too much to handle. I'm losing everything I love. This precious dream